Thank you so much for joining in. Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much. Good evening to all from our home. Today, we finish a 10-day border tour on the side of Mexico, the most difficult part that is on the side of Mexico. I would like to, before I move on forward and before I do this live explaining what is going on in all the borders and all the epicenters, I would like to congratulate every single journalist that works on the Mexican side, where the epicenter, the danger, and the threats really occur. Why I'm saying this? Because Mexico has become one of the most dangerous places in the world to practice journalism. It is the country who has seen more journalists being assassinated due to the organized crime and the cartel. And it is a country that is completely, extremely difficult to practice journalism and to expose what we are doing. I have been doing this for many years, and I have seen how multiple threats to my life, also progressive liberals from the leftist media in the United States trying to kill me. And we have continued to move forward with courage, integrity, and ethic to show the world through all these 7 to 8 years, which I have been doing this, the reality and truth of the news, like I've always said. The epicenter is on this side. The reality and the dangers is on this side. And for every journalist who I consider a colleague that has worked, I have traveled into Central and South America, walked 12 caravans and documented 12 of them, walked the most dangerous place for migrants, that is the Darien Gap, 4 times, documented 3 wars, one in Ukraine, two in Israel. And for me to tell you that the most dangerous place that I have seen for migration is my country of Mexico, it is because it is a reality. It's a completely different ballgame to be broadcasting in the United States than to see the reality of the cartel and to be around individuals who are not going to think twice to take your life away from your hands. This is a reality. This trip, when we took this trip, I talked to my colleague Ben. I told him, you know the level of danger that we are going to be in. We don't have to push it. We have to be extremely careful. We have to be extremely precautious with our language, with everything that we say, how we behave, and ultimately we have to be respectful. Number one thing, extremely respectful we have to be, because this is a reality what journalists live in Mexico. We live in extreme danger. And for all these progressive, mercenary liberals, it is extremely easy to come, burn all information, and then go again to the United States. For us that we live here, it is extremely difficult to continue and continue and continue to give everybody the reality of what is going on. We have sacrificed so much on this trip and on every trip that I do on the part of Mexico to expose the reality of what is going on. We have sacrificed our integrity, our safety of our family, of my family, to give the news to every single one in the audience. This hasn't been easy, has never been easy, and it is not going to be easy. And it will never be easy. Just for everybody to understand the level of sacrifice that we have done. This was a trip that it was going to be long. It is going to be a lot of driving in a lot of places. City of Mexico, all the way down south. I wish that I can put the map, but the stupid application of StreamYard doesn't like to be put in pictures. But I can wish that I can put the map of how this route was designed. So I will put it in the screen for people to understand how long we went. This is how long. You see all the way to the bottom, that's City of Mexico. You see that blue line. all of that we drove. All of that, Ben Berquam was the one that drove the majority of the time and all the time. He drove all the way from City of Mexico, passing through Querétaro, passing through San Luis Potosí, passing through Monterrey, passing through Saltillo, going through Matamoros, Reynosa, Nuevo Laredo, Piedras Negras, going down in a horrible road that I will show you right now on video how horrible it was, a road that it was extremely dangerous, to Ciudad Juarez, from Ciudad Juarez to Agua Prieta, Nogales. You see right here in El Paso, all of that on the blue line. We did that on our own. For the journalists that they want to do this trip, it is an extreme sacrifice. You have to be extremely precautious, but most and foremost, you have to be aware of what you are going to do. Just as easy as that. Plain and simple. You have to be aware that this is not going to be easy. We started in our journey in the City of Mexico. And as you guys have seen, I've been posting videos. So I will post some videos and I will cut the videos and I will explain what's going on in Mexico. So we went to, first and foremost, we went to this place that it was a migrant camp. And in this migrant camp, there was around 500 to 600 individuals. Now, what's going on with the CBP1 app? You know, this app that it was created by Alejandro Mayorkas, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden to give migrants a better opportunity to fast forward and to bypass immigration law, making it for everybody to say that it's legal. When the majority of them, they're not credible fear. The majority of them, they don't apply for asylum and refugee. Before we move on, share the video, like the video, share the video, like the video, share the video, like the video. And if you guys want to appreciate all the sacrifice that I have done on this trip, putting our lives in danger, buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat. As I have always said, when I travel and I show the truth. Buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat for you guys to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. We went to this shelter, 500 to 600 individuals, waiting all for the CBP1. This is the disaster of Joe Biden. This is the collateral damage. You have promised the whole world that you were going to help them. And it ended up in a complete disaster with hundreds of thousands stuck in the central parts of Mexico. They're speculating that it's between 20 to 25,000 people stuck in the center parts of Mexico, trying to make it to the United States, plus adding the ones that they are on the move, plus adding the ones that they're coming in, plus adding the ones that they're in the north. Talking about thousands of people. Thousands. And now that Joe Biden is going away, all these people are like, well, and Americans are saying it's not my business. You're right. It is not. But the consequence of this disaster, who's going to pay for it? Who's going to be held accountable for these crimes against humanity? These people are like, I just did my job. I'm out. I'm gone. I don't care anymore. I'm done. There's no consequence. Nobody's being held accountable. And hopefully Donald Trump will come in and hold people accountable for what they have done. A complete disaster. No more to explain that it's a complete disaster. This is the report that I did in the migrant camp in Ciudad de Mexico. We're going to go one by one, and I will explain what it is going on these migrant camps, what it is going on these places, and what is going to happen, because Donald Trump is going to come in and it is going to eliminate the CBP1 app. What is going to happen with these people? What are they going to do? Now, what they are going to do. This is the reality. Real America's Boys News live from City of Mexico in a migrant camp that is known as the favela of the migrants in the central parts of downtown in the City of Mexico. Around 500 to 700 migrants, they're living here waiting for the appointment of the CBP1 app. This is the craziest thing about it, is that they have been waiting here for 6 to 8 to 9 months. A lot of them, we have asked them what do they think about Donald Trump coming into office and eliminating the CBP1 app, and this is what they told us.
No, yo tengo aproximadamente aquí 6 meses.
6 meses, esperando la cita del CBP1, me imagino.
Sí, claro.
Ahora que ya llegó Donald Trump a la presidencia, está queriendo quitar la cita del CBP1. ¿Cómo te sientes tú al respecto de eso?
Bueno, me siento como abrumada, pero literal toca, si sale o no sale el CBP1, me quedo acá en México o me regreso a mi país y ya.
O sea, ¿y sería la oportunidad, sería la posibilidad de que te quedes en México a trabajar?
Sí, claro.
Estamos con un migrante de Venezuela que lleva aquí en el campamento. ¿Cuánto tiempo lleva?
9 meses ya llevamos.
Y 9 meses esperando aquí. ¿Cómo ha sido eso?
Pues aquí la hemos sufrido por aquí, aguantando, llevando la situación que vivimos, esperando el permiso de la CP1 para salir.
Ahora que llegó Donald Trump, va a quitar el CBP1. ¿Cómo sientes eso tú?
Pues ahí se siente un poquito, se siente fuerte porque pues muchos dicen que la van a quitar o que va a salir otro método de permiso para poder entrar a los Estados Unidos, pero tenemos que esperar a ver qué resultado da el presidente.
Y si lo quita, ¿qué haría usted?
Bueno, quería tener un plan, otro segundo plan pues, para ver para qué otro país nos iremos. O aquí en México, ¿qué solución nos darían a nosotros los inmigrantes?
Ahora que entró el presidente Donald Trump, está queriendo quitar la cita del CBP1. ¿Qué piensa acerca de eso?
Bueno, mire, son muchas cosas que pasan por mi cabeza, ¿verdad? Lo más inquietante es que es la pérdida del tiempo que tuvimos nosotros para atravesar la selva del Darién y todo este año pasarla aquí en México y es lamentable pensar así, pero yo creo que Dios es bueno y que yo creo que el presidente Donald Trump no va a ser tan loco para, por culpa de otros, meterse con personas decentes, porque nosotros somos personas humildes que lamentablemente tuvimos que venirnos de esta manera, muchos porque tenemos el pasaporte vencido, otros porque no contamos con los recursos. Pues.
This is in City of Mexico. What do you see, people? You see the same disaster. Migrant camps, people camping on the street, black market at night, drugs, trafficking, abuse, harassment towards women. People, same copy paste as what has been seen in the migrant camps in Tijuana. You know, you go in there, they have a kitchen, they have all these kind of utensils that the progressive liberals go over there and donate. This is their market. This is their epicenter where they create a market and they create the black market to make money, right? Like right here in Tijuana, they made a migrant camp. In Matamoros, they made a migrant camp. All these places, these progressive mercenary activist liberals and these NGOs, they go in and infiltrate and they take advantage of the situation of the migrants, that they're vulnerable, that they want to just go home, they just want to go for the better opportunity in life. And I have said this multiple times. It is not their fault. It is the people that they're inviting them and they're creating this chaos in this crisis. It is their fault. It is the Biden administration, the United Nations, OIM, all of these people that they have put these people to risk their lives through a jungle, the normalization of illicit and illegal conduct that I have said multiple times. The Democrats and the rhinos and the progressives have made it clear that it's okay to migrate through a jungle, through a sea, through a desert, to a mountain, back of a tractor trailer, being trafficked. And the people are like migrating through these circumstances, denigrating their life of value because that is the normalization of illicit and illegal conduct that the Democrats, the progressives, the communists, the United Nations, and all these people have made it okay. And you see this copy paste of all this migrant. I've seen this in Matamoros. I've seen this in Juarez. Oh, I've seen this in California. Oh, I've seen this in Tijuana. Oh, I see. It's the same copy paste. The same strategy to victimize, to use the vulnerabilities of people for their own political advantage, to make money out of this situation, to suck up the teeth for a political warfare, immigration warfare. This is what it is. And now these people are going to be stuck there, that it is not Americans' fault. But the Biden administration created this crisis and like, I'm out. Who cares? I already did it. I help who I have. I help who I want to help. All of those, they can just, see what they're going to do. But they're still pushing with this app. The CBP1 app is still active. So we had to go to the epicenter to start, City of Mexico. Then from there, from this particular migrant camp, we went to where the train of the beast leaves from City of Mexico. Outside of this shelter, which it is funny, me as a Mexican, I arrived to this shelter. Give it a like to the video, share the video, like the video, share the video. Come on, people. 105 likes, and we got like 700 to 800 people on the live feed. It's ridiculous. Come on. We went to this shelter. The train of the beast passes through this shelter. It is steps away from this shelter. It's all orchestrated geographically. It is so well established and it's so well put to make money out of this situation, out of this humanitarian crisis. As I got there, immediately the guy that is running the shelter was saying, you know what, you can't record that. I'm like, get the hell out of here, man. It's the train tracks right here. It is not a private property. This is this dirt all over outside. You got to be kidding me. You can't record. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Why can't I record? You're wrong. This is the entitlement of these humanitarians that they have taken advantage of this situation and they have feel entitled to take away our rights as journalists, as Article 6 and 7 of the Constitution of Mexico says, freedom of press, freedom of recording through every social media. It is our right. But if because you go against it, the progressives, they use their language barrier or defense, they accuse you of being white supremacist, xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, as I have said it so many times. And they label you as a traitor to your own people. You're creating hysteria. You're fear-mongering. That's a conspiracy theory. There's stupidity, inclusivity language that they use. We get to this place, and we saw a migrant outside of this shelter. There has been many that I have encountered on this trip. They were deported not even once, not even twice, but almost 3 times. And they still want to go. And you understand and you're like, what the hell? 3 times you've been deported and you still want to go. It is because they have normalized this conduct. That it's okay to cross through a river, that it's okay to jump a wall, and you just lift your hands and you will be accepted without the consequence of illegal entry or irregular entry. Listen to this interview.
Nos encontramos aquí en pues las vías del tren de la ABC. Estamos con un migrante de Honduras. Parece que esa es la idea, ¿no? ¿Te vas a subir al tren?
Esa es la idea, de salir adelante, ¿verdad? Llegar a Monterrey de nuevo, porque me acaban de deportar hace 5 días. Mandaron hasta Villahermosa.
¿Te sacaron de Estados Unidos ya?
2 veces.
2 veces. ¿Por dónde cruzaste la primera vez?
Piedras Negras y Nuevo Laredo.
¿Cuánto pagaste para poder cruzar por ese lugar?
Nada, con la mano de Dios nomás. Que Dios no lo abandona a uno.
¿Y quién te deportó? ¿Las autoridades norteamericanas?
Sí. Y ahorita es otra deportación, es de aquí de Monterrey a Villahermosa.
¿Por dónde cruzaste la segunda vez?
Cruzar como
A Estados Unidos.
por Laredo.
¿Te metiste por un lugar donde no había muro?
No, ahí no había muro, ahí solo el río nomás que tengo que nadar y pagar una cuota.
¿Cuánto pagaste de cuota ahí?
Pues eso es una idea de que no se puede comentar mucho en la red. Eso hay que implementarlo uno mismo por su propia cuenta.
Es las mismas las celdas delictivas, me imagino, ¿no?
Sí.
Que para que ustedes puedan cruzar pagan una cuota.
Sí, pues algo de que eso es prohibido hasta comentar.
¿Y aquí en el tren te da un poco de miedo subirte al tren?
Pues el miedo es bruto, pero es más bruto el que se aguanta ahí. Yo me voy porque me tengo que ir, porque sin dinero.
So let me just cut this video a little bit short. So this is a migrant, poor guy. He thinks that this is okay, but he's going on the 3rd time, on his 3rd try. He's from Honduras. He just been deported 5 days ago, and he still wants to go. Who told him that this is okay, that he will be accepted, that he will be vetted? So his life basically in the United States, in his mind, it is that I need to cross because I need to cross, whether it is legal or illegal. And then I will fast forward to what we saw in Sonoita. These are the kind of people that they camouflage in Sonoita to cross through Lukeville, Arizona. But this is a guy that has been deported twice. And you just get to understand you're going again on this journey on the beast. Then you're going to go again and cross illegally. Then you're going to try to deliver yourselves to the authorities. They already told you no. What is going on? Why don't you understand that they're not letting you in? But it's still the persistence of having a better life for a lot of our people, because we have lived in poverty and insecurity and lack of education. It pushes us to do things that they're not logic. And this is an illogical thing. You already know that you're not going to be accepted. So you're going to be running away your whole time. Your whole time you're going to be running away from the authorities, living scared that they're going to catch you one day and deport you again. And what is going to happen? This young man is going to enter the United States, possibly is going to have a kid. This is the example. This is the separation of families. You know, the pattern of these libtards. You know, is going to go in there, fall in love, have a wife, possibly get one kid or two kids. Then when he gets caught, what is going to happen? They're going to tell the dad, you know what? You need to leave. Oh my God, they're separating the family. My God, you were deported twice. They told you not to go in. They told you not to enter. They deported you twice. They told you you're not eligible. You're not admissible to enter again to the United States of America. They told you that. Why are you persisting to go? And then it comes the consequence. That is a separation of family. This is what we saw in City of Mexico. Now we move from here. We move from here, from City of Mexico. Put the image again. From City of Mexico, down all the way, down where it's at, right here. We went through Querétaro, San Luis Potosí, all the way to Monterrey. That right there. We had to stay in San Luis Potosí because it was extremely dangerous to drive at night. Why is it extremely dangerous to drive at night? We went through multiple checkpoints. That was the amazing thing. We were seeing multiple military with the Fiscal General of the Republic, with the Marines, with the Institute of National Immigration. And, you know, somebody's asking questions. I will answer your questions when I finish. And we went through all these checkpoints. There were a lot of checkpoints. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I asked a lot of the military, are these checkpoints new? They say a lot of them, yes. We started implementing them because they were cracking down on the fentanyl, the trafficking, on the cartel. That they're actively extortioning, kidnapping on these roads. So we asked, when we were driving from Mexico, Querétaro, San Luis, there were several checkpoints that we asked, and we said to the military, it is safe to drive from San Luis all the way to Monterrey. And they said, no, stay in San Luis and drive early in the morning all the way to Monterrey. Why? Because there's extortion, there's kidnappings, and there's multiple cartels that are operating on those roads. They're trying to clean it up. That was the thing that it was really curious to me. There was a lot of checkpoints. So we got to Monterrey. We got late at night. We got extremely tired. Monterrey, that it has been one of the epicenters where the beast goes through particular places where there's shelters, like this shelter that I'm about to show you. It is just also steps away from where the beast goes. So this is the craziest thing. The craziest thing about it is that you see all these shelters strategically and geographically being well established in particular points and distributions where people jump on the train, where people are getting picked up, where there's a lot of smuggling and trafficking situation. Now, get to know, as we got to this place, we did multiple hits with the network. Sometimes it was extremely uncomfortable because there were scouts and smugglers in between these people that they were waiting there to jump on the train or to be picked up and then, be smuggled into the United States of America. And this was one of the craziest shelters It was freezing cold. It was huge. But all of these shelters have the CBP One app outside, promoting the CBP One app. That for the Democrats, it is a legal pathway to the United States. Listen to this video. This is in Monterrey.
Blue for Real America's Voice News. We are in Indy. It's called Casa Indy right here next to Monterrey. It's one of the places that is flooded with immigrants that has been one of the epicenters for people to cross illegally into the United States of America. And you can see behind me, migrants that they are from Honduras right here, sitting down. I just talked to a few of them. You have right here on the top, it says CBP One. So a lot of them, they know the process. They know that continuously the CBP One continues. And this is a migrant shelter for homeless people, also for migrants. The facility is huge. I will put some video just for you to see. The facility is humongous. The weather conditions right now are horrible. It is getting cold. I don't know. I cannot even imagine the children and the kids just basically waiting out here. They say that there's around 100 migrants that they're in there from all parts of the world, from Venezuela, Central America, and South America, and all parts of the world. So this is the current situation in the shelter right here in the part of Monterrey, that the mass migration continues to the United States. Estamos en Casa India aquí en Monterrey.
So migrant from Honduras. And, you know, and this migrant from Honduras, I ask her, every single migrant I ask, what are your thoughts of Donald Trump eliminating the CBP One app and also doing mass deportation? Look at her comments and what she has to say.
Migrante de Honduras. ¿Cuánto tiempo tienes aquí?
How much time you been here?
Ya un mes.
Just 1 month. I've been here 1 month.
Un mes. Veo que vienes con tu criatura. ¿Me dejas
I see that you come with your child.
ponerla en cámara? ¿Va más rápido?
Rápido.
Come with your child.
Criatura
Right there, his
de
child.
Honduras. Ya tienes un mes. ¿Qué opinas ahora de que Donald Trump va a entrar al poder y va a quitar lo más probable que quite la cita CBP1?
What are your thoughts of Donald Trump coming into office and eliminating CBP One app?
Bueno, lo miro bien porque pues uno va allá, ¿verdad? Para superarse.
I don't look at it well because we go over there to make a better living out of ourselves.
Igual, ¿verdad? Porque pues en nuestro país pues el trabajo es muy escaso y allá pues
And in our country, we don't have enough jobs, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a better job.
uno va para sacar su familia adelante.
And we are going over there just to help our families to move forward.
Y que lo quite pues no lo miro bien.
And if he eliminates the CBP One app, well, I don't look at it that is going to be well.
¿Y qué opinas de que va a ser una deportación masiva también de personas que han entrado de manera ilegal?
And what are your thoughts of him that he's going to do a mass deportation, the people that they have not come legally into the country?
No creo que lo pueda hacer, ¿verdad? Porque es
I don't think that he's going to be able to do it because there's a lot of people.
mucha gente,
Mucha gente.
mucha gente
There is millions of people. I don't think that he's going to be able to do it.
que ha llegado allá a superarse y ayudar allá incluso
And there's a lot of people that they have gone over there just to make a better living and to be better with themselves.
a los mismos de Estados Unidos.
¿Y qué opinas de la gente que va y hace crímenes y hace cosas malas que no va?
What are your thoughts of the people that they're going over there crossing and causing crime and they're doing illegal stuff and they're just basically causing crime in the United States?
Trabajar y no va a hacer el bien.
Do you think that they should deport these people?
Bueno, pues esto sí ya es otro asunto aparte, ¿verdad?
That is a different topic. I don't.
Porque si van a hacer algo malo, pues no está bien, no está correcto.
If they're going over there to do bad things, I don't think that is correct.
¿Te gusta esa gente que sí la deporten?
What are your thoughts? Those people should deport them?
No sé si decir sí, no sé si decir no, porque también lo que me pueden allá mismo meter preso y está.
You know, I don't think that I should say yes. I don't think that I should say no, but you know that you can put them to prison. If you commit a crime and if you're illegally in the country of the United States of America, you will serve time and then you will be deported. That is the mechanism. And a lot of these migrants, a lot of the migrant population in our people are not well educated to understand that the laws that the Democrats have implemented is a normalization of illegal and illicit conduct. It is because everybody's educated to understand that it's okay to cross illegally, lift your hands, and then claim asylum. Before that, if you cross illegally through a non-port of entry, you will be detained, and that will be an illegal entry. Or if you try to do it again, that will be an illegal re-entry. Well, it will be punishable between 12 to 24 to 36 months in the federal system. But because the Democrats have come in with their policies and some rhinos,
They have come in and normalized all these illicit and illegal conduct, who has incentivized the cartel to traffic more, to risk more children, to risk more women, the raping of women, the abuse of children. They don't care about that. They care about the money, and all these NGOs, they care about profiting. It is about modern day migrant human slavery. And as we were moving, I saw something that it was extremely caught my attention. I did this report on the multiple checkpoints which the military of Mexico, because of the threat of a tariff, apparently they have to be, now they are implementing a lot. And you see a lot of military. We saw a lot of military in all the roads. A lot of military, a lot of the Mexican military trying to crack down the fentanyl trafficking and also the trafficking of humans into the northern borders. Why this? Because they have been the threat of a tariff, and apparently they're accelerating with these checkpoints because there has been a lot of violence, a lot of insecurity in the roads of Mexico, which all these roads that you see them right here, we went through these roads. Look how sketchy these roads are. There's no elimination. All of these are checkpoints where we were, and I want to thank the Mexican military, which they are doing a fantastic job on this particular checkpoint. They gave us an opportunity to be embedded with them for like about an hour, and we were talking to them, and they were explaining to us the difficulties of them. Now, I want to pause this video because I want to tell you something that happened. One of the military of Mexican military told us, he said, for us to execute our mission and to combat the cartel, we can wipe them out. We are more prepared than them. They have artillery, but we are military trained. But the thing about it, what they do, he was telling us, the thing about it, or what they do, is that they use humans as shields. They use the population of Mexico. And the population does not help because they're so afraid. It is not that they don't want to help, it's that they want to help, but they're so afraid. So when we go in there and they tell us there's about 20 cartels, heavy armed, and we have a whole platoon that is going to go in there and eliminate it and back, wipe them out, we can't. Because they use the population. Now, this is the reason why they need to be labeled as terrorists. Who, and I will ask my audience, who does this same strategy in the Middle East, people? Who? Who does this same strategy in the Middle East? Who is doing this same exact strategy in the Middle East in a war right now against Israel? Put your comments right there. This is the number one reason why they need to be labeled as terrorists. Because they use the population as shields. And the Mexican military, he was telling us, we cannot defend, we cannot attack. Why? Because if we defend and we attack, there's going to be innocent people there. And we cannot execute. Yes, there's a lot of corruption. Yes, there's a lot of this. Yes, there's a lot of that. But there's a lot of people that they want to do good. I have seen some border agents that they're young and they want to come in there and I want to go in there, man. I want to do my job, but I can't. Because there's corruption, and also there are people that they are interfering with doing well, with doing good. This, we recorded this as we were just basically watching how all these military checkpoints, they're consistent in all the parts of Mexico. It was amazing for me to see it. All of them checking, doing a great job, inspectioning. It is, some of them are saying, oh, no, it's all for show. Well, if it is for show or not for show, might as well do something to not do anything. And this has been a situation which now the Mexican military and the government of Mexico is feeling pushed because of the threat of a tariff.
And there's a dialogue now to decrease the level of trafficking into the north of fentanyl, to decrease the level of trafficking in children, trafficking in men, trafficking of humans, has to decrease. It has to. And it is actually one of the situations which is extremely important. If something happens and there is a change coming in the light, my God, Mexico will shine. But it's a corruption and it's a seed that is not only in not only a corruption and a seed, not only in the government, but in different politicians, investors, all of this. Now, this is what happened in me and Ben and I, traveling and seeing all of these multiple checkpoints. Now, from there, where did we move? From there, we moved all the way to Matamoros. We were in Monterrey, then we went up. You see where we were? City of Mexico, we went up. Monterrey, then we went up. Where did we went? We went to Matamoros, border with Bronzeville. And out of all the places that I visited, all of the borders in the north, Matamoros with Bronzeville was the most sketchiest, insecure border. What happened to me there was incredible. We arrived there, we seen that CBP-1 app, it is active. They are bringing all of the migrants, flying them from Tapachula, from City of Mexico, into the border of Matamoros. Institute National Immigration, with their units and vehicles, goes and picks them up in the airport. They bring them to an intake in the place that I will show you right now. From there, they process them out, and it is like a market. When they're processing them out, you will see multiple sketchy vehicles arriving and going around and around and around, like looking for clients. At that particular moment, we were about to get a hit with Steve Bannon in the war room, and I got approached by an old man, not an old man, in his 60s. And he told me, "Hey, what are you doing over here, man?" I said, "I'm a journalist. I'm documenting the migrants and the CP1. I said, "Oh, okay. I just got to tell you something. I got six clients. Do not record them. I already arranged them and taken them to the hotel." And I said, "My God, you are that blunt to come and to tell me in my face what you are about to do." Multiple vehicles going around. Crazy. Crazy. I will put out videos later on to explain these kind of situations. Matamoros was a crazy part. Sketchy, dangerous, and we felt a little bit nervous about their staring. They want us to leave. National Guard going in, going out, going in, going out, going in, going out. It was really dangerous. Before I move on, buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat, for people that want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. We risked our lives, people, on this trip. Thank you, and I appreciate your support. This is our video in Matamoros, border with Bronzeville. Just behind me, you can see a massive group of people arriving for the CBP-1 app to enter the United States of America. The strategy has changed from the government of Mexico. They moved them from the other pedestrian port of entry, and they moved them to this one. There's two pedestrian port of entry. So what they do is they have just arrived on a plane. They put them through their private intake, and they move them to this particular lane where you see, some of them are still waiting right here. Then the Institute National Immigration of Mexico comes and picks them up and takes them all the way into the intake, the other intake, for them to enter the United States of America. So the CBP-1 continues massively still to enter the United States before Donald Trump enters to take power on January 20th.
El CBP-1 ya vas para adentro.
Sí, bendito Dios, ya nos salió la cita después de 5 meses en México. Ya nos salió la cita, gracias a Dios.
¿Dónde esperaste los 5 meses?
En Ciudad de México.
Ciudad de México.
Sí.
¿Cómo estuvo tu estadía en México? ¿Cuánto te gastaste de dinero? Porque es un dineral.
Sí, bueno, más que todo entrando a México, de Chiapas a Ciudad de México, pues se gasta un dineral por el paso, hay que pagar piso, hay que hacer muchas cosas y para poder estar bien, por lo menos en mi caso que venía con mi familia, la prioridad son ellos.
Por fin, después de 5 meses, ya llegaste.
Sí, gracias a Dios ya se me aprobó mi cita y bueno, fue duro el proceso, pero aquí estamos ya, gracias a Dios.
Ahora, ¿qué opinas de que va a haber una deportación masiva? Específicamente Donald Trump se enfoca en la deportación masiva de criminales que han llegado y han dado una mala imagen a los migrantes. ¿Qué opinas de eso?
Bueno, estaría bien si es así de esa manera. Si van a estar deportando a los criminales, los que han cometido delitos en Estados Unidos o en sus naciones, si son criminales, entonces yo estaría de acuerdo que sí, pues deberían sacarlo. O los que están pidiendo, los que no están haciendo nada, los que están generando un gasto para el Estado, bueno, estaría de acuerdo a que fueran deportados. Pero si una persona que está trabajando legalmente y está bien, o sea, no le encuentro lógica de que sea deportado.
Now, I want you to understand what he just said. So the first migrant that I interviewed, he said, I said, how much money have you spent? In no translation, it has captions right there. Be glad that I put captions. It has captions right there. So the first migrant that I did an interview, he says something extremely important. I said, how much money have you spent in Mexico? Because Mexico is the country that you spend the most money. Why? Hotels, everything is double to the migrants. It's a business. Everything's a business, people. It is nothing that, it is something that it's oh my God, nobody knows about that it's a business. No, it is a business. And every migrant pays double. Hotels, food, everything, taxi, everything. So I asked him this and he said, you have to pay a tax. Piso. Who do you pay a tax to? The cartel. This is how it has normalized its conduct. This is how the cartel has taken over, the organized crime has taken over. It had a lot of power. Now, the Biden administration has made the organized crime and the cartel so much. My God. I really, man, I want to be patient. I really want to be patient. Can somebody tell me, and I don't want to get interrupted, but can somebody tell me what language is this that it says right here on the screen? Can somebody tell me?
Persona que está trabajando legalmente y está bien, o sea, no le encuentro lógica de que sea deportado.
¿Qué opinas de que va también a eliminar la cita del CBP1
Is that
el
English?
20 de enero?
That's it. So I'm not angry. This is the way I am. So the first individual, you ask him this and you're like, so you have to pay a lot of money. Now this individual, the second one, you ask him, what is this current situation with the ones that they want to deport in a mass deportation? And he says, the ones that they're not working, the ones that they're criminals, the ones that they're living out of the government, get them out. Look, you know, we have a sense, some people, a lot of the people have a sense of education that those people, they don't have a possible, they shouldn't be in the American dream. But because the Democrats and the globalists and the global compact on migration has completely destroyed the word migrant, and has the global compact on migration hijacked every single border of every single country, changing their laws into adapting into international humanitarian laws. This is why AOC says in Congress to Tom Homan, they're not illegal. They're asylees and refugees. You're not entering through a non-port of entry. Yes, because the global compact says if you enter to a non-port of entry, you will be accepted. That's why she is going in her peanut of a brain head saying that is the law. It has never been the law. If you adapt to the global compact, then it is the law. Exactly this migrant says also when I asked them, What do you think about Donald Trump doing a mass deportation? He says, well, I don't agree with it. CBP1 app being eliminated, I don't agree with it. Why? Because it's an opportunity for them to enter. But it's a system that it was implemented by the Biden administration. It has never happened before. I don't blame nobody. I don't blame nobody that is getting a better opportunity in life, and they have been admitted and vetted. Why? Because they invited them, and they have been let in to a better opportunity in life. I'm a pro-migrant myself. I believe migration is a human right, but in those human rights, there's a law and there's a process, and you need to obey that. We already know that, but that application was made under Biden. Port of entry of Matamoros, sketchy as hell. Then from there, we move to this next port of entry.
Blue for Real America's Boys News. We are at the bridge that divides between Reynosa, Tamaulipas, and Hidalgo, Texas. This is the division, and this is where they line them up. All the way to the back of the end, you will see the limitation between Hidalgo, Texas, and also, Reynosa, Tamaulipas. This is one of the rivers that is famous rivers that they cross illicitly or illegally to the United States of America. The same strategy, they have moved it along. It is not exactly the same. They're holding them outside of this bridge, and then they will let them in by appointments, or they will let them in escorted by the Mexican authorities into this limitation that is into entering the United States. The CBP-1 still operating in every port of entry. We just went to Matamoros, where it was really sketchy with a lot of cartel activity. Now we are in the one in Reynosa that connects to Hidalgo, Texas. See the images right here.
Hidalgo, Reynosa, another epicenter of migration that has had a lot of illicit and illegal activity, a lot of cartel activity in Reynosa. Insecure, my God. Whew, totally insecure. Multiple wars, multiple cartel wars, extremely difficult. To broadcast that and for us to be there, it was extremely difficult. And we had to get in, get out, get in, get out. It was not a thing that let's say, hey, you know what, man? Telling Ben, like, hey, you know what, let's hang out, man, for a little bit. Let's go and get some tacos and let's just talk right here in the street. Let's go and hang out. No, it was not that easy. It was extremely difficult. Extremely difficult to do it. Then from there, from that particular place, we moved to, so it is right here on top of Monterey. It was Matamoros, Reynosa, and then we moved to Nuevo Laredo. And it was the same situation. CBP-1 app, it is still operating effectively on every single border. It's a process. I'm just saying it is still active. Oh my God, you're against CBP. I'm just saying it is still active. I am there to record and document. My obligation is to say it is active. If it was not active, it is not active. If it is active, it is active. That is what it is. We have a pocho right here. I want to be Mexican on the live feed. Let me just put him right here. These are the same ones that they defend Cesar Chavez. These are the same ones. Cesar Chavez, they called every illegal immigrant wetback. And, all these people that are there for La Raza and all this. La Raza's over here in Mexico. It's not over there in the United States. La Raza's over here in Mexico. And we have never been a minority. We have always been a majority. We as Mexicans, we are not in the country of the United States of America to be oppressed and to be victimized. Simple as that. To all of these Hispanic liberals, they're always trying to steer the pot. Oh, you're against your own people. You're a hater. You're a traitor to your own people. I'm Mexican. I live over here. Born and raised, people. I don't live in the I don't have the pleasure to live in the United States with a dollar and, and eating hamburgers and fries every other weekend. Just saying, enjoying the capitalist dollar with your capitalist laptop, with your capitalist iPhone, and your capitalist job, enjoying your capitalist freedom. I'm just saying. Next report. We went to Nuevo Laredo, border with Laredo, Texas, another place. And from there, we went to Piedras Negras, Coahuila. And in Piedras Negras, Coahuila, border with Eagle Pass. We did 2 reports on one day. Listen to this video. We are located in the Nuevo Laredo port of entry. Behind me, you will see some CBP1 applicants. The majority are from Haiti. So this confirms that the application on every port of entry that we were in Matamoros, then the next one we were at Reynosa, then we went to different sections in Monterrey where they are distributing, and also shelters where they are jumping into the beast. And now you see this in Nuevo Laredo, the connection. This is the port of entry. The connection behind me, you will see some migrants that they're about to enter the CBP1 app. This confirms Matamoros, Reynosa, and also Nuevo Laredo that connects to Laredo, Texas. It is active still with the CBP1 app. Oscar Blue, Ben Berquam, going through every port of entry and through every particular part of the border where the CBP1 app, it is still active.
This is I call it the illegal immigration industrial complex, like you call the
Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News. I am located in the famous bridge of Piedras Negras, Coahuila, which this bridge has been just full with stories of illicit and illegal and irregular entries from migrants crossing from this particular part of Mexico into the United States of America. A lot of things have changed since Governor Abbott won in the court, in the federal court, for the right to defend himself and to put the concertina wire all along the other side of the United States territory. Now you see the National Guard parked right there with the Humvee, and you see multiple vehicles of the United States on the United States side. Also, you will see the National Guard has been here for almost a year, but they are trying to collaborate and to do something to slow down the pace of illegal entries into this particular point. A place that it hasn't slowed down is a thing that we have been investigating from the start. Now we went to the port of entry of Matamoros, the CBP1 line, it is still active. Then we went to Reynosa, the CBP1 line, it is still active. Matamoros connects to Bronzeville, Reynosa connects to Hidalgo, Texas. Then we went to Nuevo Laredo that connects also to Laredo, Texas. CBP1 line is still active on that particular part. And now we are located in Piedras Negras, where it is also speculated that it's still active. CBP1 line is still active, but they're trying to decrease the flow of illegal migration to where there was a lot of risk for families, women, and children. A thing that I want to signalize is that as we were coming out from City of Mexico into this particular parts, there are multiple inspection points by the military of the Marines working with the Fiscal General of the Republic and with the Institute National Immigration. This to crack down the cartels, to slow down the extortion, to slow down the trafficking of fentanyl. It is shocking to see how multiple inspection points they have been implemented for the protection of the Mexican citizens, but also this has everything to do with the threat of a tariff of President Trump in the dialogue that he had with the President of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. Things are changing, things are drifting. Let's see how the year of 2025 it is going to come into change with these new policies of immigration and how this it is going to have an impact on both sides of the border. There you go. That was Piedras Negras, Coahuila, on a multiple report from different parts. Again, you know, a quick shout out to Alden Cabello, who has been the Mexican journalist who has been gracefully reporting and bringing journalists through those particular parts. Nuevo Laredo, Reynosa, Piedras Negras, Coahuila, and, you know, all those places. And Matamoros. You know, all these places. Now, from there, we move to Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua. Chihuahua that, you know, has been a city which is extremely dangerous also. And there's a city called Anapra, which I have seen from far away. But this time we did something different. We went into the city of Anapra. It was sketchy, extremely sketchy. And there's a mountain that is called Cristo Rey, has been reported over there by multiple citizen journalists and also journalists that is a place where they are doing a lot of smuggling and trafficking. Our colleague Ben Berquam has gone all the way up to the Mount Cristo Rey and has recorded with a drone from there, and also has had dialogue with these smugglers. As we were entering this particular neighborhood in Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, border with El Paso, now we moved over there, we saw 4 individuals going up the mountain dressed in black. And it was extremely difficult to fly the drone, to try to get information, and to try to get out of there. We visited Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua also. We're at the part of Anapra, next border to Juarez. Extremely sketchy place. We were at a really sketchy place. A lot of vehicles with no plates in the front, no plates in the back, tinted windows, going back and forth. There's massive illicit, illegal activity. I bet that it's drug trafficking. There we go. Let me pause it. So you see 1 on top, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These individuals, they are there. Basically, they go up the mountain, they wait for Border Patrol to move, and then they smuggle, they cross. Or one of them is just going to be crossing illicitly or illegally into El Paso, Texas. Child trafficking and trafficking of humans all over the place. Ben flew the drone. Thing that it was extremely sketchy to do because there were multiple vehicles coming by, looking at us and all this kind of stuff. We had to hide to a particular place from their flight. It was a lot of tension getting out, and we caught 3 these individuals who multiple times Ben has documented them wearing all black. These guys go up there. These are bad hombres. They go up there, they hide, and they smuggle people continuously into Mount Cristo Rey. Ben has documented on the other side, a Border Patrol has told them, you're not safe to go up there alone. He always goes armed to go and document it over there and how things are going. So it is a really difficult place to be recording and to also be, kind of investigating what is going on. The only thing that I can tell you is that it's a really sketchy neighborhood, a really sketchy colonia, that it is basically all of the parts on the down of the mountain of the side of Mexico and Cristo Rey. You can actually see exactly the same copy paste of what I've seen in Tijuana, that the majority of the neighbors there are involved, they're part of it, and they actually know this activity as it's continuing and it's happening. So we just got out of there as soon as we could. There's a lot of activity, and this illegal migration continues to these places where they have said multiple times, Border Patrol, that there's hundreds and hundreds crossing every day. This was another place where we saw a lot of activity, and it has been reported that illicit and illegal activity has decreased in some places, but was one of the epicenters. Now, the epicenter, which it is a lot now, is considered a sanctuary city, is San Diego, California, which we are going to show you that report in a few seconds of me and Ben today in the morning showing the CBP1 line, which is hundreds every day. Going in. I don't, it's not, oh my God, he's against CBP1 line. No, don't start with your, language barrier defense. I'm just reporting that there's hundreds every day that they're arriving. And this was in Ciudad Juarez. Now, from Ciudad Juarez, I would like you to see this video. We had to move late at night. It was extremely difficult to do this. This is the road that we did for almost an hour from Agua Prieta. That is a hot spot next to oh my God, I don't remember the part of the United States. Agua Prieta, Sonora, into Nogales. So crazy, this road. We rode for an hour with it's crazy. It's in the middle of nowhere. You see one vehicle, and it's all alone. Nobody there. Nobody absolutely there. Look, they're telling us to go over there. It was just bad. And for people that want to go from Agua Prieta to Nogales, Sonora, that is Nogales, Arizona, do not go to this road in Mexico. Do not do that. Thank the Lord that we had him and his angels protecting us at all time. But it was sketchy. For more than an hour, we were in this road, man. It's all dirt. And this road had even speeding signs and all this kind of stuff. And we were like, what it is going on? And I'm just giving you the 4-minute video. I'm going to post this video. We were making jokes about it because we were nervous. We were like, let's make some jokes about it, laughing about it, just trying to have a conversation, Ben and I. But it was sketchy. I'm even going to lie. It was extremely sketchy to be on this road at 11 or 12 o'clock at night. You got to be kidding me. When they told us, do not go late at night, we had to drive. We were going to be late. And our estimated time of arrival was on Sunday night into Tijuana. If we stopped, we wouldn't be, right here, right now. Extremely sketchy. Really sketchy. Multiple vehicles that you can actually understand that they are not doing something that is nice on these particular areas. What are you doing there late at night? An Escalade, all tainted windows. Like, what are you doing over there late at night? It was kind of like, ay, cabrón, what's going on over here? Late at night, híjole. Nobody there. Sketchy. But those are the kind of circumstances that we did. Now, after that, we went to Sonoita. And Sonoita, I would like to tell you guys, was it crazy? Yes, it was. Was it sketchy? Yes, it was. Why I say this? Because it was there where it is the border with Lookville, Arizona, where it's all Sassafy, Lookville, all of them are hot spots. You got these NGOs like No More Debts operating on those places. But the most amazing thing for us was the shopping spaces, the shopping spots. When we were at Nicoclí, Colombia, we saw a lot of these shopping carts that they were selling the boots, the tents, the coffee mates, the stools. They were selling all these kind of stuff for when you entered the Darien Gap and you crossed the Darien Gap. So you're making money out of human suffering. You're making money out of a person that is possibly going to die inside of the Darien Gap. I wish nobody to die, but it's the possibility because I've been in there 4 times and I have seen multiple decomposed bodies, children drowning. It is a horrible thing, and my PTSD is never going to go away. It's a reality. Seeing horrible stuff. It is not, normal for people to see this and take it like, oh yeah, tomorrow I'll wake up early in the morning, just drink a cup of coffee. Somebody's asking, Oscar, do you read the chat? Yes, I read it, but I'm explaining the topic. As soon as I finish, I will answer your questions with all respect. God bless you. On all these shopping places, we found all these kind of items that a lot of you guys have seen on social and mainstream media. These people that they're wearing the camouflage. These people that they're being smuggled through Lookville, through Sonoita, wearing all this camouflage attire. New Mexico, but specifically Arizona. Through Arizona, it has been documented and discovered that there has been multiple federal convictional of second-time offenders coming in and being caught. also child molesters, terrorists, gang members, really dangerous people have come in through Arizona, specifically through here, Lukeville, border with Sonoita. And when we were there, we discovered all these multiple chopping spots that they're selling this attire. And they live out of this economy. These are the Biden jobs. They're living out of the suffering of people, and they're living out of trafficking. Because the illicit and illegal conduct has been normalized. And to a point that now mom and pop businesses are making it legal. And the government of Mexico is just looking at it like, he's just selling stuff. No, you know what he's selling. You know why it's been used. You know what they're doing with that attire. You know what they're doing. There's a big NGO that works over there. No more debts. You already know. Guilty as hell. They know exactly what is going on. Listen to this video. We just arrived to Sonoita. My colleague Ben Berquan recorded last time that he was over here. Sonoita border with Lukeville. One of the most epicenters of mass illegal migration that has been pushed. A lot of bad people have come in here. Child molesters, people with priors, terrorists. You see an operation of military right here in front of us. But the other thing that Ben has discovered over here are the shops that they sell these carpet shoes, all the equipment, camouflage equipment for trafficking into the United States. See the video, look at this. You know, it's something that is amazing that every border has already established business, like we found in Nicoclí, that they were making business out of people when they're crossing the Darien. Copy paste of what's happened over here in Mexico, crossing to Lukeville, Arizona.
Just down here shopping. Sonoita, we get this sweet hat, but they got everything down here. You need good camouflage.
This suit, 900 pesos. It's around $50. How are you going to be identified in the mountains like this? It's impressive.
This is crazy how all of this, you know, it is being used. And it is like in Nicoclí, we saw this, you know, how they sell this stuff for people to cross into the jungle. Look at this one in the back. It gets more difficult for you to be identified. We have seen these as they have crossed with these in the mountains in a shop. Everybody to know this is what is used inside crossing to not be identified. They're being sold by the bunch.
¿Cómo se dice robber? Robero.
Ratero. Like this. So easy to just go in there, and with all this, you know, being sold, the whole package, it is part of it. So look how crazy it is.
¿Cuánto?
Dos pares. ¿Cuánto valen esas? 50 pesos cada una. Ok.
Bueno.
Aquí es un par. Sí. Y aquí es otro. ¿Cuánto le doy por todo?
And over here in Sonoita, you can actually buy a mask like this. Why are you going to sell a mask like this to cross illicitly and illegally through the mountains? And also the carpet shoes to not leave a trail. Meanwhile, you're crossing into the mountains. These are impressive. We bought these ones, all of this for 160 pesos. Two of them were sold for 160 pesos. That is around $14, $14 to $15, the least, for you to buy these products. It is part of the organized crime. You're being part of, you know, illicit and illegal activity, but, you know, it is a business that now it is commerce. You know, it's a mom and pop business that is commerce, that now it is regularized and it is normalized, this illicit conduct, to be just adaptable to society. Oscar Blue in Sonoita, border with Lukeville, Arizona. Isn't that amazing? A copper shoe sold at a mom and pop to not leave tracks at the desert. Amazing. 50 pesos. Everybody's making money out of human misery. The NGOs know it. Of course they know it. They're making profit. They go to where there's no wall. Of course you know it, NGO. Of course you know it. Don't play stupid, you progressive, mercenary, activist, liberal, using our country of Mexico to profit, and then you come over here and you spread your hatred to another political party of the Republican Party, and then you call us traitors to our own people. Why? Because you're profiting out of this, out of merchandise. Which, by the way, let's see where it was made. It doesn't say. Of course, it is made in China. Does it have a... This doesn't have a ticket. It is handcraft made. Camouflage. Attire. Sold in Sonoita. Border with Lukeville. Is there hunting over there? Also made in China. Isn't it crazy? But these NGOs and these progressive mercenary activist liberals, they want to be humanitarians and oh my God, I'm such a good guy. I'm just helping. I'm just doing a great job. I'm just helping everybody. This was today. When we finish our tour, we went to Calexico, California, which also there's another port of entry of CBP-1 in Calexico that is border with Mexicali. Absolutely. But today in the morning, we went to the border in my city of Tijuana, which I don't do lives anymore because of security reasons. But it was amazing how there is a lot of CBP-1 applicants. A lot of people are going in there every day to get the opportunity to stay. And this is what we saw today.
Blue for Real America's Boys News. Behind me, you will see all the CBP-1 applicants on this app that it has been continuous, and the flow hasn't slowed down and it hasn't stopped. We have been documenting all the flow on all the northern borders that connect from Mexico to the United States, and this is the one that has a massive flow. The flow starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, then another one at 8 o'clock in the morning, then this one that is at 12 o'clock at noon. The flow starts massively, and they're talking about quantities between 500 to 700 immigrants that they're entering per day over here with the CBP-1 app. That's a massive amount during weekly. Now, we have been documented in Reynosa, Matamoros, also in Nuevo Laredo, border with Texas, border with Laredo, Texas, also Piedras Negras, all the borders, and lastly in Calexico, all those ports of entry have CBP-1 app and they're still active. If you see behind me, now they're categorizing San Diego, California as a sanctuary city. This is because of the massive arrival of migrants that they are continuously coming in through the CBP-1 app, trying to make it before Donald Trump becomes president this January 20th. Now, we have seen a massive flow arriving to non-ports of entry, crossing illegally and illicitly in Tijuana. All the migrants trying to make it before January 20th. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News, reporting from the port of entry in El Chaparral. And also adding this is something that is extremely interesting. Behind me, you can see actually that this has become also a business where people are renting rooms and also restaurants. All of this in this epicenter where all of the CBP-1 applicants are around. So behind me, you will see that they're renting rooms for the migrants, $50 per night. Doesn't matter if it is family, but with children, I think that they don't cost $50 a night. But with individuals, $50 per night. Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News, live from the port of entry of El Chaparral. Reporting for every single one of you. CBP One app in Tijuana, still active.
What a tour. Man, I would like for you to understand how many cities and states we went through. Well, I will just name them and I will count them. City of Mexico, Querétaro, San Luis Potosí, City of Mexico, Querétaro, Guanajuato, San Luis Potosí, Saltillo, Monterrey, Matamoros, Reynosa, Nuevo Laredo, Piedras Negras, Torreón. Go up. Come down. Go up. Chihuahua, Ciudad Juárez, Agua Prieta, Nogales, San Luis Río Colorado, Calexico, and Tijuana. What a tour. Exhausting. Extremely tired. A lot of driving. A lot of editing. There was a point that we did like 9 hits in one day with the broadcast with the network. That's what we were there for. We were there to inform. We were there to say to the people, this is what is going on. And I think that we did a good job. Nobody has ever done it. I think that there have been journalists that I know that they have done the route from Tapachula all the way up to the north border, but just one city. We did the whole border. And it is extremely exhausting to do the whole border, the north border. And then to do it in Mexico, it's not easy. Not easy to do it. It's insecure. And, we try to do our best to bring you guys the reality and truth of the news of what is going on in every border. And what the migrants go through that's another thing, that the migrants go through a lot of extortion, kidnappings. They have to pay the cartel. It is extremely difficult to migrate nowadays. And the Democrats and the progressives and the rhinos and the globalists have made this okay for people to risk their lives and for people also to ultimately think that this is the correct way. It's unbelievable to denigrate the value of a person, to make them think migrating through a jungle, that's what you're valued. Going through extortion and kidnappings in Central America, that's what your value is. Crossing the river on a water raft, late at night paying the cartel, that's what, from Guatemala to Mexico, that's your value. Walking on a caravan for kilometers in Tapachula, that's your value. Being trafficked at the back of a tractor trailer, that's what you're valued on. Crossing the river in the Rio Grande, jumping a wall, going underneath the tunnel, paying a cartel, that's your value. Level of education, because these globalists and these leftists, Marxist, communist, socialist, liberals, they have normalized this conduct to be legal and to be okay. And for these people to say, well, why they're not letting me cross the river in the Rio Grande? That's my right. No, it's not your right. That's not a port of entry. That's not the way. Even though they open up a process for you, it will facilitate more easier for you. That is the CBP One line. You don't want to understand that because it has been normalized by these progressive, mercenary, communist liberals that this is okay. Me gustaría escuchar lo que te dijo el militar. Dudo mucho lo que te hayan dicho eso. Tu nota es falsa. Los habitantes estamos felices con el trabajo de las Fuerzas Armadas en México. Mi nota es falsa. ¿Qué falso? ¿Qué militar? ¿De qué hablas? ¿Qué quieres que te muestre? Dime qué quieres que te muestre para que te calle la boca ahorita. Porque lo hice algo, lo grabé. Si quieres que te calle la boca ahorita, nomás dime. ¿De qué hablas? Explícate. ¿Cuál nota falsa? Es una realidad. Las Fuerzas Armadas de México están haciendo lo mejor que se puede para combatir el crimen organizado y el crimen organizado está utilizando a humanos para proteger, para que la militar no pueda atacar al crimen organizado, erradicar, eliminar. ¿Qué más? ¿Me vas a proteger, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, y te vas a justificar que fue del PRIAN? Andrés Manuel López Obrador, el presidente que más asesinatos tiene en la historia de México, por medio del crimen organizado, más de 200,000 asesinatos. Le pagaron su chayote. Déjate de tonterías. Es la realidad. Andrés Manuel es el presidente más inseguro en la historia. ¿Quieres escucharlo? ¿Quieres escuchar al militar? Nomás dime qué quieres. Ahorita te lo saco. Aquí lo tengo, ahorita te lo busco. ¿Lo quieres? Questions. If people want to ask me questions, go ahead. And you know what? Let me just look for a video. And this video, I will just release it for this individual. Where is it? 17:28. Looking for the video of right here. This is a military, which it was basically, and I don't know if I have the authority to release it, because I don't know if I have the authority to release it, and I don't want to put the military in problems. So, I have the video right here, and the audio of the military basically saying, sometimes it is really difficult for us to execute our job because the organized crime and the cartel, they are using humans to protect themselves. And I have it. And I have it as evidence. Because the cartel and the organized crime, it is threatening our military for them to not to do their job. And before you type, watch it. Aguas, antes de que empieces a escribir. Porque siempre tengo un as debajo de la manga. Siempre lo tengo. Guardadito. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much, man. Whew. I am going to accept questions. For people that want to ask me questions, go ahead and ask me questions. Super sign in Mexican that prefers color revolution in Mexico to eliminate the only contra against. There's comments right here. They want to get into this Zionist, Israel. Are you a Zionist? And all this kind of stuff. Stupidity language, inclusivity language, and all this stupidity justification language to use just the protection of a political narrative, I don't do it. If you're this kind of individual, let me just show you. I have been invited to multiple interviews. And the majority of these interviews by left wing, right? I don't have nothing against no left wing, no right wing. So when the left wing wants to interview me, I said, oh, absolutely. When do you want to sit down? What is the topic? Well, I want to talk about your past. And so I know that they want to do a hit piece, right? So I said, okay, let's talk. But, can I put my conditions? I said, okay, go ahead, sir. What are your conditions? So for me to talk to you, You cannot say these words. Conspiracy theory, creating hysteria, fearmonger. You are a white supremacist, a white imperialist. You are a xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronophobic, fatphobic, racist, fascist, narcissist, bigot, Zionist. From the river to the sea, la, 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 it will be free. If you don't use this protection bubble for your political narrative, I will sit down and have a normal conversation like a normal human being. And we can discuss our differences. And before we go, we can shake our hands like men and say, I respect your point of view. It doesn't assimilate with what I think, but I respect your point of view. That is not censorship. That is stupid inclusive language to justify a political narrative and to just label somebody in their forehead for the rest of their lives. That's it. Because if I don't agree with you, for the typical average Hispanic liberal, he will say, you're a traitor to your people. Traidor. He's a traitor. He's against immigrants. Is this, is that? You're a nationalist. You're a white extremist. You're a MAGA Republican. You're an extreme right winger. This is what it is. And immediately they start spilling. This is gaslighting. Of course, because I just told you, your language barrier of defense, you don't have nothing else to do. I just fast forward 10 steps of where you are at because you don't have nothing else to respond. Because what are you going to do now? With those languages, you cannot do anything. You're not going to have a response. You cannot sit down and have a dialogue without justifying with your language barrier of defense, who in the past, it worked perfectly, I'm going to tell you. But today, it is not working anymore. And it is not going to work. It is going to be flushed into the toilet, and it is going to go away. It's the time to be men again. And it is not the time to be kind anymore. It is the time to be tough and to hold people accountable. That's what it is. No justification. Like, oh my God, you're such a bigot. Ay, tula. Oh my God, that's such a xenophobic guy. Ay, tula. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. This has been our tour of the north borders in Mexico. How difficult it was, man. How difficult this is. Man, it's so difficult. It was difficult. It was hard, but it was exhausting. Yes, it was. But it is what it is. I will accept questions for I'm an hour and 28 minutes. I said that I was going to do between an hour and 28 to 2 hours. So go ahead. Questions if people want to ask a question. God bless you. God bless you. Everybody saying God bless. God bless you also. Now we're in 29. We got 1,115 people on the live feed. Give it a like to the video. Share the video. And buy me a coffee. It is right there pinned in the chat. We risked a lot on this trip. So if people want to join in and contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, it will be good. Questions about my work? Go ahead. I'm all for you guys. There's a question right here. Hasn't the cartel run Mexico for a long time? Yes, sadly, yes, it is. But right now, you need to ask your question as an American citizen. Who is running your country? Who it is running your Congress? Who is running your Senate? Because we have seen, and the reality is also that this is a bilateral problem. And I have explained this before, and I'm not going to be, tempting my heart. It is a reality. The reality is that the United States of America, sadly, it is the number one buyer of synthetic drugs and fentanyl and cocaine, the number one distributor in their own country of fentanyl, the number one buyer of child pornography, the number one buyer of child trafficking. Look at more than 300 and plus thousand children that they are lost. The number one distributor of artillery into the cartel in Mexico. The number one with addiction in fentanyl. 87% of the people that they cross fentanyl on vehicle, the tons, are U.S. citizens. It is a bilateral problem, but we have the biggest problem that is the cartel over here. Yes, absolutely. It's a bigger problem. Absolutely. Karen Bond, to your question is yes. I'm not going to put it on the screen, but to your question is yes. Okay. Do you feel change coming with Trump, and how do you feel about it? Are you hopeful that things will change enough for all human beings? Well, it's about saving lives. It is not about feelings. The Democrats have done everything about feelings, and look what it has happened. You got people that they don't even know what a woman is and what a man is because of their feelings. This is about saving lives and correcting a system that is completely broken, an immigration that is completely broken. And more than that, securing the border and securing people's lives. And telling the globalists in the United Nations, you are not in control of the United States borders. Because they are for the global compact on migration. This compact is a complete disaster of borders. And it is only making the own international organizations and the NGOs profit of a multi-million-dollar business. That's what it says. And that's what it is. Go ahead. More questions. There's no fixing permanently. Migration is always going to happen. And you're always going to have illicit and illegal. It has happened for years. You can decrease the flow, you can correct it, you can put an example and have consequences so people will not do it the way that are doing it right now. And also, the number one thing is to decrease the power of the organized crime. First and foremost, you have to take away the power of the United Nations and their global compact on migration. Then you stop the federal grants and you tell Mike Johnson, stop these federal grants, multi-million federal grants to these NGOs. After you stop these federal grants to these NGOs, you audit and you prosecute these NGOs that they have been in cahoots with the cartel. And if you have, I'm not a lawyer, but if you have a case, prosecute and hold them accountable. Secure the border. Send a message of a consequence to all of these people that they're abusing children and they're abusing migrants, crossing them consistently, trafficking them, making money out of human misery. You set an example. We have forgotten the word that is consequences. Nobody is now taking this seriously. And because everybody is making a laughing stock of their border, there's no consequence. The Democrats have made this clear that there's no consequences if a trafficker goes all the way. I've seen videos. A trafficker go all the way up to the National Guard and tell them, I will be back with another load What kind of ridiculous statement is that, man? It's unbelievable. There's no consequence. There has to be a consequence when it's this kind of situation. One more question. Now we're in 35 minutes. Thank you so much. God bless your dear heart. Thank you so much. God bless your dear heart. No, coming to the border before Trump coming into office. It's I live in San. Cheryl Gay, Oscar, what do you think about the number of people coming to the border before Trump coming into office? I live in San Diego. Yeah, San Diego has become a sanctuary city right now, and the numbers are going to exacerbate as I predicted. Before January 20th, a lot of people are going to try to make a run for it. There has been multiple caravans that they have been made in the south of the border. People are trying to make a run for it before Donald Trump becomes president. That is a reality, and we're going to see that more exacerbated as days go by. In the last 10 days, it is going to be critical. Oscar, ¿crees que, saludos Andrea, ¿crees que veremos aquí en Estados Unidos a los distribuidores o a los carteles en la cárcel? Mira, se tiene que poner un ejemplo primero que nada y es un problema bilateral. Let me answer this in Spanish. Es un problema bilateral que a muchos no les gusta Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. Yo no soy de ningún partido político. Claudia Sheinbaum tiene tendencias socialistas, pero se tiene que arreglar esto. Y el arancel es una manera de negociación porque pues claramente le va a afectar a la economía al hombre de la clase media baja en México y no queremos hacer enojar a esa persona. Tiene que haber un acuerdo, tiene que haber una solución, pero aguas, ¿no? Porque Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo está retando a los Estados Unidos a corregir su problema dentro de los Estados Unidos, que eso es una realidad. Estados Unidos tiene un problema de distribución, un problema de adicción, un problema de tráfico de niños, un problema de distribución de artillería, un problema del crimen organizado dentro de su país. Pero ya que Estados Unidos trata de corregir eso, Estados Unidos va a voltear a México y le va a decir, oye, ¿qué onda contigo? ¿Ya estás corrigiendo tu problema? O sea, ¿qué estás haciendo al respecto? Y es ahí donde vamos a ver qué tipo de situación va a ser México, ¿no? También el gobierno de los Estados Unidos tiene un as debajo de la manga y acaban de hacer la captura del Mayo Zambada. Este hombre sabe todos los movimientos y sabe a quién se le está pagando y a quién no se le está pagando. Y parece que la administración de Morena le tiene un miedo enorme a que Estados Unidos tenga a este kingpin de, pues básicamente del crimen organizado en posesión de los Estados Unidos, porque él sabe todo el tejimaneje de cómo funciona México. Entonces, aguas, porque hay muchas maneras de negociar ahorita con términos de seguridad y con términos de, pues más allá de términos de seguridad, inseguridad y política sucia. I hope that I answer your question. Borisar Homan says he's starting in Chicago with deportations. Well, he has his own strategy. It's not debatable. We have seen that how Chicago has been an epicenter of this enormous distribution of, undocumented individuals that have come in to work. A lot of them, we have good people. I have walked with good people. Our people want a better life. We understand that, but we have to know how to do it, in the process how to do it, because we're hurting ourselves. And why am I saying we're hurting ourselves? Because of the bad people that are coming in, and there's no filter at the border. They're giving a bad image to all of us. And these are the bad hombres, and these are the bad people, which they need to be immediately deported because they are giving a bad image to all Latino and Hispanic population. This is not what we represent. We have the capacity to be doctors, engineers, lawyers, senators, congressmen. We're not a minority. We have always been a majority. We have a huge voice. Look what Latinos did with Donald Trump. They got him into office because we are sick and tired of the lies of the Democrats. Bill Clinton had the most mercenary politics in immigration, and he was the one that reinforced the wall. Then Hillary Clinton was preaching about a mass deportation, whoever comes illegally, but nobody remembers that. Then Barack Obama was the number one deporter-in-chief and separator of thousands of families, created the cages, created the dirtiest war in Mexico with Fast and the Furious, and gave billions of dollars to Iran for Hamas and Hezbollah.
And under the Biden administration, it is the administration where more migrants have died between the limitations of Mexico and the United States. There's a problem? Yes, there's a problem. Do we deserve a better life? We deserve a better life. Do we deserve to be treated with integrity? We deserve to be treated with integrity and respect. So migrating through a jungle, migrating through a desert, jumping a wall, it is incorrect. We deserve a better education. And because of the lack of education and because of a lack of security and because we never put a filter because of this global compact on migration, which only the NGOs are profiting, number one reason why you have this problem. And now it's going to be a crackdown. And a lot of humanitarians are going to be like, oh my God, separation of family. What the hell? Don't you remember there's laws? And all these humanitarians that they want to pander and say this is inhuman. I don't remember these past 4 years you being in the Darien Gap where there have been hundreds of people that they have died trying to migrate to this horrible jungle, decomposed bodies, extortioning and kidnapping in Central and South America, and the multiple hundreds of people that they have died trying to cross the border wall, being trafficked by the cartel, being kidnapped by the cartel, and never come back to life. Where were you right there? No, but now everybody's a humanitarian. No, 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 no. Go ahead. More question. You know, there's a profile right here. It's just funny because these profiles, they come and they try to agitate the live feed. So this profile has I've seen it. This profile has a profile in YouTube where I can silence him, but I'm not doing it. I'm letting him speak. And he has a profile in X. So he's typing out of the two profiles because if I go at him at YouTube, he will start complaining in X. These people are, you know, they're smart. They come and agitate and they try to, you know, destabilize the live feed. But it's freedom of speech. As long as they are not aggressive and they're not, they're not insulting, everything we respect, we will let it go. ¿Cuál es su meta con tus reportes? As soon as they become politicians, they run into corruption. What is my mission with my reports? Nowadays, Jesus had, God and Jesus has used me in a way to put me in these epicenters, where there's disasters. And, and I have asked him, use me as a tool. If you can use me, use me. So if I have to speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people about my experiences and educate our people to have self-respect, to have integrity, because our people, Latino culture, we have three values that the American people and the American dream have. We are capitalists by nature. We do everything for our family, and we believe in God. And we need to establish those three values in our Latino and Hispanic culture, because the progressive Hispanic liberals are trying to destroy that with their inclusivity, inclusive language, their inclusive culture that they have hijacked from the people that they are extremely inclusive, that they need they need the inclusiveness. People that they're in wheelchairs, people that they have, they have multiple problems. Those are the people that they need to be inclusive in society. But they have hijacked that word. And we need to bring those values back to our families. We need that. We need exactly that. So my goal as a reporter, as a journalist, is to bring the reality of everything. But if I can be used to speak in public, I'll do it. Absolutely. Never want to be a politician. Let me just tell you that. I prefer to be a normal human being. This is not a question, but a large thank you for everything you do to prevent the silence from ruling over the innocent. Thank you for speaking up and for all you have done. May God grant you all your needs, God willing. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Muchas gracias. Dios te bendiga.
Chistecitos. More questions. We got 10 minutes more. 10 more minutes. Chuck Holton gives wrong information. It is biased. No, he does not. He's my mentor. He's a great man. And if you're in favor of Hamas, Hezbollah, that they're terrorists, well, you know, I'm in favor of Jesus. I'm Team Jesus. I don't know what team you're on, but Chuck Holton is always in the right position. He's the best war correspondent in the world. And if you're in favor of terrorists, or if you try to tell me that Hamas and Hezbollah are a resistant group, now the problem is you. I'm just saying, and I'm not even biased. Or if you want to call me biased, whatever you want to call me, it's your freedom. But I'm just telling you what it is. You know, because I have been in the borders with Kiryat Shemona, Malkiah, and Jish, and Israel in the northern Galilee, and I have seen how Hezbollah deliberately and brutally has sent continuous attacks into the northern Galilee. But you don't see that on MSNBC. You don't see that in Al Jazeera. You don't see that in all these leftist networks. No. You see only the pandering. It is so easy to be comfortably sitting down in your Columbia school or your Washington school and just be sitting down and protesting and be like, yeah, let it go. Let occupy it. Yeah, it's really easy to be doing that. But I wish that you can, pay a ticket and go to the Middle East and see what is going on. And actually try to go into Gaza to see if they're going to let you. Or actually try to go into Lebanon to see if they're going to let you. I would love to see that. Question. Let's talk about those crazy. No, I don't have information about that. That's not my topic. Questions? People want to, we got almost 1,700 people on the live feed. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining in. We have 12 minutes to go on the live feed. I'm going to make it a 2-hour broadcast. So whoever wants to come into this live feed and ask questions, go ahead. We just did a border tour. Go ahead, ask questions about border in the north borders with Mexico and the United States. People trying to get into the Middle East thing. I'm not going to get into it. This is not a Middle East topic. Not a Middle East topic. I'm not talking about the wars. I covered the war in Israel 2 times and 1 in Ukraine. I'm not talking about that. We just did a coverage of the migration and the corruption and the insecurity in Mexico with the north borders with the United States in Mexico. If you guys want to talk about that, the question and the panel is yours. Thank you so much. What's your next adventure? Well, we cannot say, what is my next adventure? I cannot say for security reasons. Facebook says you got 38 viewers. Yeah, I don't care about that platform. I just do it for courtesy. I have 1,707 viewers over here. If you go to X, you will see how many. God bless you. And I just use Facebook for just out of courtesy, man. We got 102,000 followers, and they censor that. So I really, Do you think Mexico likes being treated like a doormat? If you're a liberal and if you're thinking that, go ahead. These and the majority of these people that they always saying that to us, and they're trying to educate a Mexican, are the white liberals. They're the ones that they're trying to tell a Mexican what to think and what to say, and they're treating you like a doormat. They're treating you like you are United States is your boss, and who are you to tell us how to feel and what to say. Who are you to come over here where you're political trash and divide our people and to make us think that we need to hate a political party or we need to hate another country? Who are you to tell us, the white progressive liberal, to come over here and to bring your political trash and division, to use us as a weapon to bring division into other countries? Why we are thinking that we are being used as a doormat? Why? Because you're saying that they have taken advantage of us? Because they took 8 territories from our land? That's the reason why? Are we still on that speech? Are we ever going to move forward about that? No, never. Never seen it. Got 9 minutes to go. God bless you. Go ahead. Questions? Just this question I might answer you because you have been consistent on the live feed. Which is the worst threat to Mexico? Muslim invasion or communist CCP subversion? Uh, our threat to our country, it is the cartel and the organized crime. You have those problems. We don't have those problems. We have a big problem that is called the organized crime and the cartel. That's our number one problem. We don't have those two topics. If you're thinking about those two topics, it's because possibly you have those two problems. We don't have those problems. Or if we do, they're not a priority in our list. Our priority in our list is to bring security to our country. And also, not only that, not only that to bring security into our country, but to bring a better, prosperous economy. That's our priority. That's the number one priority. Oh my God, this guy. Coronado used Mexico as a doorman. Oh my God. Oh my God, these liberals. Jesus Lord, please give me. Oh my God. Ay, hijo de la chingada. What are the emotional feelings you are getting when you are talking to people? It depends on what kind of people and depends on the circumstance and the place. When you're in the middle of the Darien, it's really emotional because you're seeing people in the most vulnerable situation and in the most difficult situation between life and death. And I'm just not going to lie to you. This screensaver, it is never going to change. And this is a screensaver that I'm always going to have. It's a kid that I carried for more than 8 hours inside of the Darien. And I have it pinned in my X account. It's different. It depends on the situation. And it depends on the place. Ay, güey. Híjole. 1 minute. Um, you're talking about as a citizen or as a journalist? I don't know what are you talking about, as a citizen or as a journalist? As a journalist, wow. Nobody has asked him this question, and I will clearly say this: why you got him? Let me relate this question. So I will ask the question and say, we already know that we have a problem at the border. Why you are part of the global compact on migration, and why you have never gotten out of it? Why you're letting Alex Soros and George Soros take over the border? Why you let Antonio Guterres of the United Nations be part of the border be part of taking over the border of the United States of America? Why you are visiting all of these places in Panama, talking about that you visited the Darien Gap, but you only go to the Metatee, to the Providence, and you don't go to the real problem? Why are you traveling with all these security and spending millions of dollars to these places that you say that you're going to fix the border, but you don't fix anything? Why are you having underground agreements with these NGOs? Who's profiting to these NGOs? Why are you acknowledging that this is not a homeland? This is not a security of the. This is not a national security. So many questions. The first one is why you gave the power to the United Nations of your land. Why? And he's going to respond, no, we have not. Yes, you are part of the global compact on migration. Why do you get out of it? Why? Why are you aligned with the United Nations? Why are you aligned with OIM? Why are you aligned with UNHCR? Why are you letting them run your borders? Who has the power, the Border Patrol or the United Nations? Who has the power, the United States Customs or the United Nations? $157. ¿Conoce en persona a Obrador y a la presidenta? ¿Qué le dirías como mexicano? Uf. Muy difícil porque can I respond in English, because the live feed is in English, Kelly. I don't know if I can respond in English, because the live feed is in English, so I don't want to disrespect the live feed. We got almost 1,800 people over here, so it is really difficult to say the truth. If I had the opportunity to sit down, that will be an incredible opportunity. But it's really difficult to say the truth because you are going to be persecuted and possibly your life is not going to last. But I will ask them, what is stopping us from being great? Why the farmers have to have the middle guy to grow? Why can we not fight the organized crime to stop the kidnapping and to stop the abuse towards women in our country? Why don't explode all the talent that we have? Why we don't eliminate corruption? Why we are so afraid to eliminate corruption? Why can we not be a first-class world country? What's stopping you from doing that? Who is stopping you from doing that? Why can we not erase the organized crime from our country? We need help. And you already know where the answer goes. Our GDP it can be 3 times bigger, but it all comes down to corruption and greed. One last question before I go. God bless you. All that you have been in the live feed, I will answer one last question. Go ahead. One last question. Ah, are you feeling better? Um, I had a problem on this trip. I'm not going to lie. I had a uh, I think it was a blood pressure problem, and my blood pressure went up, and I don't know if it's stress. I believe that it's a lot of stress of all that we have been doing, and the responsibility of our information being firsthand to be distributed to to different parts of the world. Um, and I believe that it was more of a stress that that we have been dealing with. We need a couple of days off, and I believe that after 10 days of this, I'm gonna take a couple of days. I needed to do this live feed for people to understand what is going on, so I'm doing it. But I believe that I need a couple of days to relax, rest, sleep, and and sleep because we haven't been sleeping. Uh, you know, uh, well, I gotta be honest. We have been from city to city to city to city, and just been like 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and it's just it's sometimes we ate, sometimes we didn't, and it's just it's a sacrifice that we do for our jobs because we love our jobs, and I love my job, so it is a sacrifice that we do, but I think that it was because of the level of stress. And, it was the first time. I'm not a youngster. I'm 43 years old. So I understand that I do a lot of exercise. I don't stop working out. And I have been, in this 10 days, I didn't work out because I was not feeling well. So I know that I have to go to the gym tomorrow. Possibly I'm going to go to the boxing gym, get some sparring, do some sparring to release all the stress, and try to feel better. That's my therapy. When I go to the boxing gym, that's my therapy. I've been using that therapy for years now, and and that helps me a lot. You sweat it all out, and the therapy has become a bag for me for the past 20 years, possibly more than 20 years. So it has helped me, to release a lot of stress. So yes, I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling better. I'm home, and I'm about to relax, go to sleep, try to do my best, and and try to do the best that I can. Just that's the way it is. Try to relax and do the best that I can. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News. That's our network. Follow us on every social media. Also, iHeart. Is it iHeart Radio? iHeart Podcast. I think that is that. Uh, you know. Also, you can download the app over there. Watch us over there. Interesting. And follow our page. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Thanks so much, Cheryl. Thank you so much, Cheryl Gay. Thank you so much. God bless you. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Subscribe to subscribe to X, my account. Facebook, I'm doing out of courtesy, really. Facebook has become a platform that it's so much censorship. So for me, it's not even a platform which I will like, but I'm doing it out of courtesy because that's the platform that I started. So um, I'm going live still over there for the respect of my audience that it has been with me since the start. So I'm doing that. I'm about to merge to Rumble. A lot of people, that's the page that that's possibly the platform that I'm going with. For now, thank you so much. Uh, you know, uh, for
for this live feed. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, God's plan, it is our mission. Take care.